Welcome to all the participants to the final and the sixth day of the short-term training program on IoT powered solutions for healthcare innovations. Welcome, sir. On behalf of the management and the entire event coordinators, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for accepting our invite in spite of your busy schedule. Let me introduce the invited speaker of today to the participants. Mr. M. Senthil Kumar MSK is currently working as a Chief Security Officer at Wipro Technologies. Sir is an enterprise information security architect, a cyber risk management expert with more than 25 years of rich expertise. Apart from holding senior leadership positions in IT and information security, he is a certified information security manager and gold member of ISACA USA. MSK is a winner of IDC Insights Iconic Award from International Data Corporation for his project in IT and information security. He has also won CSO 100 Award for the second year in a row from IDG, the world's first tech media company, recognizing MSK as one of the top 100 cybersecurity officers in India. MSK offers his accelerated capability in the following domains: IT data service and disaster recovery center, including wired and wireless networks, endpoint and end-to-end infrastructures encompassing web and cloud applications, and IT governance, risk management, and compliance. Sir has authored 3 volumes of IT Ready Reckoners titled MSK Super Tips and MSK Tidbits. We are very privileged to have such a renowned person amongst us to deliver the session on fog computing based IoT for healthcare applications. So once again, welcome, sir, and over to you, sir, to handle the session.
Thank you, ma'am. So I hope you are able to see my screen, right?
So audio and video both are clear.
Okay.
Screen
Fantastic.
is also visible, sir.
Yeah. I will keep my video open, and if you find any disturbance in the navigation of the slides, you can please let me know so that I can switch off my video.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
So, good morning, all of you. Today being a last day, I have gone through the other topics which you have gone through, which you have already taken up in the past few days. For the sake of a change and to make your life comfortable in this particular event, especially, I would like to make a little change in the way in which we present. Generally, it will be a lot of text, and we will be talking IoT, everything like COVID. No, every time we would be, throughout this week, we would have heard enough of fog, enough of cloud.
Yeah,
I
tell
would.
me. Appadi, I was so tense, sir.
Can others mute, please? Yeah, thank you. So I'll be taking this through, a good journey. Most of you would have recognized. Can maybe anyone respond quickly by unmuting and saying what is this? By seeing this, what do you feel? How this looks like? This particular screen, how this looks like? Can anyone respond?
Like preventing hacking of data, sir.
Yeah. Instead of getting into the subject, apart from subject, by seeing the screen image, suddenly what comes to your mind? It is something like what? This display is something like what?
It's like preventing hacking of data in the internet.
Yeah, no subject. That's what I'm saying. Let's forget for the moment subject or hacking or internet, anything. No, this we have heard enough in this week. So I'm asking you away from the subject, away from the IoT, away from from the personal point of view. Just if I give a poster like this, what you will feel? That is the question. It's not a QA session, but I want to make it little joyful. Can you interpret this picture, just a picture, by seeing this? Suddenly, what comes to your mind?
Posts.
Exactly, poster. It is something like a English movie poster. So throughout today's session, no, we will be viewing something like a movie. Okay, entire session, 2 hour session or 1.5 hour session, we will be going through this as if you are seeing a movie on a Saturday. So I will never bore you with lot of no technicalities. Wherever there is a text, too much of text, you can take a screenshot or you can just ignore it also. But they are all very exhaustive, barring which all the background will give the message what I want to convey. Here, fog computing, I am giving a message that it is something like a English movie screen, movie introduction screen or title screen. It's prepared uniquely for KCG College, and healthcare is one important thing which in the current pandemic, we are all very much aware where fog computing is going to play a vital role. I have gone through the subject also where I found a lot of topics are covered around health sector. Now I am going to cover the cyber security aspects which are to be considered in fog computing, especially with reference to health sector. So, as ma'am has given an elaborate introduction, I don't want to repeat it again, but still I will give my title. It's a multifold title. ESA, CISO, all that. CSA is a recent thing where I'm heading manufacturing and consumer BUs as a chief security architect. So that gave me a lot of insights about how this cloud works, how this fog, what is edge, everything, no. But let's not worry too much about those terminologies which are going to be handy as we go along. I request each one of you to view this as a movie, okay? Casually, a English movie. Naturally, English movie, all of us will not understand in full. So you ignore that part, but enjoy the coverage. So fog computing is an inevitable extension to the cloud. So it is an extension like the telephone extension. I will make it very simple, though you are all faculties. For me, as I keep saying, you are my students. Whoever senior you are, there is no senior, junior as far as knowledge is concerned. Even a kid will teach us. So for the kid, we are all juniors. No, she will learn how to teach us certain small lessons. So here, uh, as a participant, you will be enjoying the fog computing as an extension line of your telephone line. That's all, simple. So cloud has got an extension, which is fog. Let's not no confuse too much. You have a receiver on your hand in the extension line. That receiver is nothing but edge. We all know in English edge is end point. So this is so simple to understand, and I'm sure most of the earlier faculties or SMEs would have covered much better than me, but I want to make it much lighter. The subject is little complex or dry if you understand it as a subject from the academic point of view. So let's start the movie from here. This is what already ma'am has covered. Now I got one more upgrade to my credentials. I have become a platinum member of ISACA USA with my credentials as CISM. With that, most of the other points are no whole good, which she has already read, and it is it's a everyone who has got 29 years of experience in IT and cybersecurity will have much more. Will have this profiles. Will have these skills with much more added to them as well. It's not something very hi-fi with me here. But one thing which I feel is any topic to be covered with some kind of a not only passion, but also it should create interest among the participants without making them to think that this is a very huge topic, so it is not for us. So it is very, very handy for each one of us where you may feel you are able to see a tortoise here tortoise is well protected. If you ask me to, if I throw a question to all of you, one of you will respond that the tortoise is having built-in security. The shell which she is holding is a built-in security, integrated security. But to come away from the subject, I am putting an elephant over the head of the tortoise, and imagine the kind of a weight the tortoise has to carry, but the size of the tortoise is capable, no, is compatible for carrying a big elephant like this. So they are having a very joyful journey. One is under the sea, another is above the sea level, but nevertheless, no, they are traveling from one end to another. That is what cloud is all about. You can parallelly assume tortoise as a cloud, where elephant is a fog. So these are all something which leave it to our interpretation, but I will make the interpretation very clear and simple as we go along, for which I split this topic into 4 buckets. One is digital transformation, why this fog computing is required at all, and what is the relevance of healthcare industry, for which we need to understand the traditional information security and enhance to cyber security. Finally, it is landing up with cloud and fog computing. Why? Then I will take you to the architecture of the fog computing, where I will talk about the known things which you have heard several years now, LAN, WAN, all that. So that I'm going to talk about along with workloads, data and application. Everyone is carrying a mobile phone where we have a lot of apps and it carries a lot of data. So nothing new to us. I'll be covering that here. And finally, we users and what devices we carry. I'm going to talk about that with reference to fog computing architecture. The third part is models of fog computing. What are the various models? One is basic model, another is advanced model, third is optimized model. These models are created by me for my clients, for my organization, for my career. So that I would like to share it, and you will never be able to see any of this in websites or any books, which is written specifically for KCG. As you can see in the first slide itself, this particular entire deck is prepared for KCG College of Technology for this specific topic. So let me jump on to the fourth area, which is future of fog computing. Having seen various models and architecture, where we are going to land, we know that the tortoise and elephant are traveling joyfully, but what is the destination? Are they going to temple? Are they going to a seashore? Are they going to deliver a baby or whatever? No, we need to understand from the route in which they are traveling, which is called SDN or ICAM. SDN is nothing but software defined network. ICAM is identity and credential access management. Then what is the layer? As I said already, one is traveling above sea water because elephant cannot swim for long, wherein tortoise has got a dual capacity to swim on the sea, above the sea, on the ground, everything like the on-prem and on-cloud infrastructure. So what is the layer? That is, here we see a land layer, water layer, above water layer, all that. So all the layers we are going to see. Then finally, what is the execution excellence we require to make the fog computing successful, understandable, and useful for the end users? So with this elaborate introduction about the agenda, let me push you back to the old age of digital. When we started the digital era at the Rajiv Gandhi period, where the country like India started, the developing country started digitizing certain aspects. Now it is almost full-fledged with the kind of a situation, work from home situation we are in. In this, there should be a digital disruption, but it should be interruption free. There should be a digital presence. Like what you see in this picture, a person is coming through a laptop and the recipient is welcoming as if the person is physically coming in front. That is, it is not 3D or anything. It is the feel, emotional feel of a user. He should, whenever he wants a solution or service, the service provider should come forward as if they are coming in person. That is what I'm interpreting. That is what digital disruption has provided today. and end user experience. Bots and all you would have heard whenever you are going to a insurance renewal site, vehicle insurance or any insurance, suddenly a bot will pop up asking you what help you want. Then end user experience, that kind of a good feel is important. Convenience is important. At the click of a button, we should get plug and play. Transparency is very important. What is that being processed? That is to be known to the end user. Integrity of the data is important. Reliability, reputation, security, privacy, nothing is technology topic. Nothing is technology term, all are general term. On cognitive thinking and automation, that is a technology term. Cognitive thinking is using all your brain thoroughly and ensuring that the repeated process are automated, things like that. So this is the entire gamut of digital. Wherein trust means truest. It came from the word truest. We have to be truest to, that is an enterprise or people like us, technology experts should be truest to the ultimate recipient of the services or products. And it is a three-party approach. It is not one-to-one. It is 1, 2, 3. One person may be supplier, another may be company, third person may be customer. And there should be a fiduciary relationship to ensure that there is no breach. Breach in terms of terms and condition, breach in terms of data or integrity, confidence, everything. Finally, it will land up in providing the confidence too. So if you balance the right hand side, trust, all the left hand side should provide support. That is why I coded them in a single color. So that will lead to the picture what you see here, like a person is coming in person. You will feel like with somebody you are interacting. Like no, you should feel that you are interacting with me today in person, even though I have not come to your college. So let me take you, for a moment to the next area where, as I told you, the tortoise, the snail is a very thinner, uh, reptile, which has got a thinner shell for the capacity up to which it can carry. Here I would like to see VTRC. VTRC is nothing but vulnerability. Because snails are so soft, they are very vulnerable, and even a small stone falling on their head will jam them. Threat is something at the stone which may fall by a person may throw, or a coconut may fall, or small guava or anything may fall. It will totally, it has to die. So it has got a risk. So to understanding the risk, the God has given a control. Having produced a reptile like a snail, the God or any superpower wanted to protect. So there is an inherent integrated shell which is protecting, so that a small stone or a small fruit or anything will not affect. So this is what vulnerability, threat, risk and control we can easily explain, which is combination of people process technology, which is what IT. In every organization with people process technology, the information technology has got vulnerability, which is nothing but weakness in English. Threat is something which is dangerous, where the outside force, vulnerability is an inside weakness, threat is an external force. Risk is something the result of the or impact of the particular threat. So that risk should be managed properly with confidentiality, integrity, availability. Confidentiality is nothing but no unauthorized access. Integrity is nothing but no unauthorized changes. And availability is nothing but authorized access when it is required. So this is very simplified way of explaining the vulnerability, threat, risk, or ultimately the traditional information security. Nobody will talk about it on the website or any book, because it is they would like to complicate things so that they can gel well. But for me, the learning is very important. Knowledge sharing is important equally. So as we go further on, imagine. So far we have crossed 5 slides. Can anyone confirm whether the video navigation of the slide and my audio are clear?
So both are clear, sir.
Excellent, thank you. Because it is a little raining here, so I just wanted to check.
So
Yeah.
everywhere like power problems are also there.
Yeah. But I hope people are not missing this session, on account of those things.
Let me check the participants. Normally 60 will be there. Now 41. They might join in the meanwhile, sir.
Okay. Because I just carry this throughout the entire, 46, 45 slides. like a storytelling.
Okay.
So far, no, it is made very simple that what is vulnerability, risk, threat, like just by picking up a snail, we will be able to understand everything.
Yes,
Here,
sir.
now we are talking about the boundaries. In the traditional information security, the boundaries are something which is not visible, but it is available. That is, you can see a muddy road here and the destination is not known. There are some stones, some pillars, then there is a rock, mountain, everything. And there is a very beautiful flowers and gardens on both the sides or small plants. And we have a beautiful car. That is what the traditional information security, where we assume that by sitting inside the car, we can travel very well for a long distance where the road is going for forever. It is not the real case. The real case is it has got an inherent or implied boundaries with so many things, starting with security, ending with security. Security and privacy is one part. Ports and protocols are other parts. Protocols are nothing but rules. Ports are where we are connecting our phone for charging or audio, hearing, everything. And VTR management, we have seen already vulnerability management, threat management, risk management. Then we are talking about IT with business, security with business. All are there. So these are all hindrances as we go forward in our journey, business journey. That I am segregating into people, process, technology, which are to be governed properly, very carefully. People is nothing but the silo should be broken down. It should the modern tradition should be modernized, and the drive we have to drive the innovation on the way. How we hear a song and go? Can we stand and dance and drive? That kind of innovation. Transparency should be there. We have to know what is there in front. We know only 1-2 kilometers ahead in the picture behind. Accountability and who is going to drive. We don't know who is going to drive, who is going to travel, what is happening. A car is there, that's all. In the process part, we know that it should be secure, simple, normalized, unproved development, software development, and authorized path should be there. But the technology should aid automating it, testing it, securing it, and we should have an infrastructure, hyper converged infrastructure and compliance. At last, the governance will lead a framework-based design. It should, no, we will have it scalable, and policies, standard SOPs, procedures are all going to be in place. That is what all traditional information security is talking about. I am not saying it is inferior, but it has got constraints, boundaries. So let me explain you with one more snapshot. Again, no, please enjoy this session as a storytelling. Don't get bored, and I don't know about the kind of a tiredness you would have gone through by hearing so many terms relating to fog as a theme of this particular event. But the grand event will continue with a grand movie like presentation here. I'm repeatedly telling this to make you, all 30-35 people who are going to hear throughout, just enjoy this, assuming what is the weakness here. So we have a very beautifully painted gate, but assuming that the gate is locked and it is well protected, there are no gaps on the both the side, only center side that is also crisscrossed through a crossover layer, but there is no fencing. Maybe we would have put some fencing. Fencing here, I mean security. But over a period of enterprise growing, the fencing would have been no removed. Even in our college, we would see that some of the people will put a USB drive, virus will get affected. Then we will one fine day, we will block all the USB ports, and through administrative control, suddenly one VIP will come and he will be forcing you from an external college or IET or somewhere else. Suddenly you will open the port temporarily, and temporary will become permanent. That is how this fencing have gone here. There is no compound wall. So this is not the security we are talking about. The traditional security stops at a particular point, and it is not re-looking as to what is the need of the hour for the future. Both we are not thinking. For which one statistics I will give you. This again, elephant is coming into a movie again. The same elephant which traveled on the water on tortoise back that has come here. He is standing, and you see that person is sitting very comfortably. Okay, even on the right hand side, he has a basket, which means that he is not moving. very frequently. So he has a basket to collect the fruits, banana, whatever, and keep it. So he is permanently sitting there. You will find a stick kept on the left leg of the elephant. That means that left leg, the elephant will not move. He understands his master's voice because the stick is kept on the left leg. He is not supposed to move the leg, even though the elephant is not tied with a chain or anything. The elephant will have its own control. That is the confidence level what that person is having. The master has got a confidence level that it will not move. The child is coming close to the elephant, assuming that the person will take care, the master will take care, and elephant will not move because a stick is kept on the leg. So the elephant has got a self-control everywhere. Wherever temple you go, you can see a stick is kept on the leg of an elephant, and and his master will be sleeping behind without any fear. That is because elephant has got a self-control. That's what we are talking about traditional information security, where all the other people have got a confidence on the control. But if the control is loosened, if the elephant got wild and if he wants to kill, it will be no time he can throw all of them out and everybody will die. So that is the kind of a weakness where ransomware is one example for such a havoc, where it will come and hit, breaking all the controls, like the elephant which can come out. That is the kind of a power elephant is having or a ransomware is having. And 67% of the people are only, are only having confidence on companies. Remaining 33% no confidence. Here, if you see, it is a beautiful 5-lever lock, all magnetically controlled and very well bound doors. Unfortunately, the key is kept on the same door. So only 22% of the people are wanting for convenience. So only 22% of the people are wanting for convenience. And third piece of it is 75% who are having control. What I mean by control is the self-control what the Tata is having, where it keeps all the leg, head, everything into the shell when there is a danger. So on the digital transformation, further what we have seen is enhanced cyber security. Like today, if you see a hand of a person who is interacting with a robot through a monitor, and the robot, as if it is a human being, he is acting as if the commands of the master are interacting, collaborating on certain work. So which means the digital has stolen 20.4 billion IoT devices, and it has got 1.5 billion US dollar worth of business happening every year. And cognitive technologies are going to be in place. 30% compounded annual growth rate. That is another statistics which the digital is going to bring in. And 3.25 billion edge computers are going to be there, or fog computing is going to be there by 2025. With these statistics, we are assured with low complexity, high volume transaction, no or minimum human intervention, rule-based operation, and repetitive task. The requirement, the result or attractive result on the left-hand side, or the scope on the left-hand side for the enhanced cyber security, is creating dependency from purpose, plan, procurement, production, packaging, and providing it to customer, performing the services, promoting the product in a multiple supply chain, starting with R&D, investment, material, manufacturing, movement, delivery, support, and improvement of the product capacity. So that dependency is leading to some requirement to protect the data from confidentiality point of view. Like these steps, having claimed one step, it is not sufficient. We have to reach the destination together. Together, we have to step up. Otherwise, all our entire effort will go off. So for this, we have confidentiality, integrity, availability, privacy, accountability, resilience. Again, this is my own concept I created for us to get up in the ladder of cybersecurity. You can make a note of it. which ensures authentication, authorization, non-repudiation, isolation of different data, application, network, user, device, and accounting, proper log management, redundancy, that is business continuity. So in this particular thing, enhanced cybersecurity framework has got a lighthouse. We all know this is a very small pillar when compared to the big ocean. But nevertheless, all the ships which are coming from throughout the ocean, from anywhere in the world, are pointing towards the lighthouse, and they are believing that the lighthouse is going to give a proper direction because it is static. In this particular scenario, you have so many layers, for a ship to sail through: data protection, network security, virtual machine pipeline, or tenant security, or cloud security, container security, identity, ICAM. We have seen ICAM, identity and access security, scanning, near real-time scanning, encryption, log and audit management, all that. Also, when it is pointing towards the lighthouse and sailing smoothly, when there is a wave, or when there is a cyclonic effect, or when there is a tsunami, it should have an ability to manage all this. The digital world, it should be trustable from the point of view of the designability, connectability, repeatability, flexibility, profitability, compatibility, scalability, reusability, and divertibility. All the abilities that ship should have, otherwise it will make the people traveling to fall inside the sea. And there is a protective mechanism. This is a subsequent protective mechanism to ensure, which is a core, starting with proper governance, defense in depth, proper resilience, design specific aspect, proper protection of threat intelligence. Maybe there will be some big fish which can come and eat them. So all that we have to be very careful. And finally, we have to ensure that any attack surface vectors from which we have to prevent all the people sailing through the boat. So this is how the enhancement to cybersecurity is coming in, where it has got a inevitable fog computing intervening. That is what you would have learned all through these days, which should be a cultural mindset change, which is not a technology change. Technology is already there, and we already seen a lot of benefits it is going to give to the supply chain of an industry. So how we get the security mindset? So we need to have security first mindset. That is, wherever we do whatever we want, there should be a security first mindset. There should be a security by design and default. There should be a legal compliance requirement in mind, and we should have a zero touch culture. Today we are aware of zero touch culture. All these four ambit are to be tightly integrated or stitched properly. So I'm explaining only 53% of the companies are involving security in the project level. Only 50% of the people or the projects have got security by design and default. And digital trust, agility, everything are not a consideration for legal compliance. Legal compliance is only documentary evidence today. And zero touch is something which is we are learning in a hard way, with the tolerance, engagement, commitment, experience, convenience, comfort, technology, environment. You can see all of that, behavior, attitude. Several soft skill, technical skills are required for a zero trust culture. So this cultural shift is going to be made, taking lessons from this tortoise. Again, here the triggers are the inevitable fog computing. So the fog computing is something which, let me just for a moment. Yeah. So fog computing triggers are fourfold. One is public cloud or classic cloud. We will say the current cloud, whatever we see from Google, Azure, Microsoft, Google GCP, or AWS, Amazon, all are classic cloud, and they are moving on to fog computing, supporting fog computing as well. Centralized setup, virtual network is there, man to man, man to machine, whatever, no, human to man, everything are possible. V2X is vehicle to anything. Any vehicle can connect to anything in the world. That is smart of everything. That is the smart cloud or public cloud. And there are audit constraints like authorization, authentication, accounting, and audit. All the 4A are very important. There should not be any mistrust. There should not be any distrust. And there are forensic audit also happening. But control is mostly remote. Beyond a point, we will lose sight of the drone, which he is running. So it is boundaryless. Drone can go anywhere. It can travel in the cyberspace, and it is the runtime security or preventive management. Everything are going to be there. And the VTR, we have seen vulnerability, threat, risk, RASI, all of that are going to be there. So in the IoT security, CIAPR, whatever we have seen already, confidentiality, integrity, availability, privacy, accountability, and resilience, threat and trust management, threat vectors, postures, security postures are important. See, the small kid is very comfortable on her mother's back. So that is the kind of a travel we are talking about in the IoT security. It is totally dependent and totally linked, all that. And we should create a trust for which the debate of the day is digital trust or zero touch, which is important. So let me take you through the pipeline where the customer is there, data is there, policy, process, market, forensic, compliance, document, all we are aware. One important thing is proactive security, like the tortoise example we have seen, or snail we have seen. And another is runtime security, like the monkey we have seen in the previous slide. So that is something like landing onto a moon where the digital trends are inevitable because of this kind of a 6-layered approach. The natural language processing, our car has to drive based on our way in which we converse. A car should be able to distinguish my voice with my wife's voice, with my kid's voice, with a guest voice. So that is what natural language processing. The machine learning. So as soon as I close my car door, it will take a moment. If I am sitting inside, the lights will go off after a few seconds. But if I am outside and closing my car door, it is a reality today which is there in my car. If I close my car from outside, it will switch off the lights immediately. That is the kind of a machine learning and artificial intelligence we are talking about. Speech recognition, as I said, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, extended reality. So many realities are there. On the right hand side, you will see image analytics or steganography to see what the image is interpreting. Like whatever image I am showing here, somebody is landing on a moon using a very big vehicle, very beautiful vehicle. Big data analytics. We all know, even I have taken a session to KCG on big data analytics. Artificial intelligence, neural network, behavioral analytics, predictive analytics, all these are going to be important in the digital trend. For this, we are jumping into the fog computing architecture. Fog computing, I will introduce you before jumping into the architecture. The introduction is very simple. As I said, cloud, below cloud, you will find a fog going on the rock of the hills. That is what fog. So it is a bottom layer of the cloud or a bottom piece, which is isolated, which is segmented, which is connected with a lot of IoT devices. I am elaborating that one cloud can have multiple fog with multiple end devices, which are all called edge computing. So when we travel in this journey, you will see that the classic centralized cloud, low latency, high speed data transfer, and access specific to users, devices, data, application, everything, restriction on network location, service. These are all simple English. I don't want to explain. Heterogeneous central control system, decentralized device with SDN, software defined network, and identity credential access management, end devices to fog, then fog is connected to cloud. That is what we have seen in the picture. Connector to IoT is one, wireless and mobile devices are other. So we have connector to one IoT, two wireless devices, three mobile devices. So all are connected. This is what fog computing all about. Very simplified definition of fog computing. They have got multiple layers. We are going to see elaborately on the layers, but now I'm giving us little of introduction on the layers. The layer one is things. all the things we have on our hand or which is fixed on the wall. That is what we call it shortly, or with a famous term called IoT given by Cisco. Even the fog is a term created by Cisco. So then cloud is a top layer which has got data center, cloud data center, virtual data center, software defined data center, anything you can call. Fog you will see most of the time with the towers because fog has got much to do with the networking. So that is why we are seeing the network here. There are network resources, edge point, end point, all that. The network are multi-flood LAN, WAN, we know Wi-Fi network, WiMAX network, and so many network, MPLS, everything we are talking about. And sessions are going to be handled separately. Privilege or priority or permissions are handled separately. Authentication are given based on the permissions. With that, the fog computing is something like a dish, like a breakfast, you have a lot of dessert or dinner. This kind of a dessert is combination of sixfold again, the threat modeling, application security, container security, change management, changing all the product and code, everything, and logging and reporting, monitoring, compliance assurance. All are very important for the network and security component protocols. As a component, we have threat modeling, nothing but it will ensure resource efficiency. Resource here, nothing but the devices or the compute, storage, everything. And it will prevent the insider threat, that is application security. And I don't want to explain, container is something where all the applications are contained. The change management is, no, we are changing the program code for logging in, for access to application, everything. Logging is who is doing what, that kind of a statistics, and compliance is nothing but regulatory compliance or legal. All these are components which is making me to take you through the revolution or evolution. So what is this revolution talking about? Human revolution or human evolution. From zero, from a monkey age, today we are in modern age. Here you will see for a parallel creation, in the zero age, there is nobody there. In the first generation, we have these kind of cars. In zero, there is no cars, no vehicle, only walk, only legs are vehicles. Wherein in the first generation, we have the leftmost top car. And in the second generation, we have a Ford car, which you see is with a horse logo right hand side. On the third thing, we have kind of a Toyota or Chevrolet car on the bottom left. On the right hand side bottom, you see Tesla car, which is the fourth generation car, which can be parallelly created with the four industry evolutions or four industry generations. It is one, first industry is mechanization, second is electrification, third is automation, and fourth is cyber physical system, CPS. Otherwise, it is called Industry 1.0, Industry 2.0, Industry 3.0, and 4.0. That is what Industry 4.0 we are talking about, which is nothing but RPA and things like that. Robotic process automation, Internet of Things, Internet of Everything. So many things we are understanding. So here, the checks and balances are from the entry point. If you see a big house, imagine what is a luxury. Even our house will not be this much size of a security room, which you see here in this picture. So security room itself is it has got a fridge inside, it has got a AC, everything. So that is the kind of security we are talking about. Luxurious security with the CCTV placed there, you can see. So that means that it has got so many checks and balances, not only after entering into the house bungalow, but from the pre-commit stage, from the commit stage, from build stage, test stage, and deploy stage. So this is the kind of a security multi-layer security we are talking about. In the pre-commit stage, we have threat modeling, architecture, all this you would have heard enough times in the earlier sessions, but still I would like to highlight this as a part of our journey, that having traveled on a sea, the elephant is trying to get into this big bungalow. On a tortoise, it was traveling, and we have seen how elephant was standing with a stick on his leg. Now it is trying to enter inside. What are all the checks the elephant should undergo? Elephant is nothing but data or a hacker, whatever you decide you can think of. Even a customer can be an elephant, but that unknown elephant we need to understand and put a gate and check all. These are all the checks probably we can do. That I am narrating with one more beautiful butterfly here. The butterfly has got a two life. One is as a caterpillar like this. Okay, you can see this front image as a caterpillar where it has got a cloud inside, mobility inside, machine to man, all are there. Big data analytics are there, and cognitive thinking is there. Robotic process automation is there. All that we have seen, Industry 4.0. And we need to have a planning, codification for development, building the application, testing the application, releasing it to production, operating it and monitoring it on a regular basis. These are all the dimensions which fog computing has to go through, for which the user groups are going to sit in the edge devices. They are going to interact with fog. Finally, they'll be landing up onto the cloud. Without cloud, fog will not have a presence. So cloud, as I said already, cloud has got an extension which is fog. So the main telephone line is cloud for the telephone operators who are end devices. For this, I will explain with some kind of a understanding for you theoretically. We have to discover which are all the devices connecting, end devices which you see in the bottom of the picture, which are all connecting. It may be laptop, desktop, mobile, whatever. On the other side, identity of the data. We have to identify what data it is carrying. If it is a car, what it is carrying. If it is a computer, what it is carrying. Mobile device, what it is carrying. Then we have to map the relationship of the data, and we have to consider the dependencies, where it should land and what it should carry out, everything. Then finally, we have to stitch the rules, that is the policies, to automate, orchestrate everything. We call it simply as SOAR, security, orchestration and automation response. So this is the beautiful theory which I could conceive for a user and device to be plugged with the cloud through fog computing. And suppose if you got confused over a week on fog computing, you take it from me. It is so simple to understand from this simple slide. Like the user has got a device which may be customer or ourselves. Those devices have got to be inventorized, and we have to understand the data which it is carrying. We have to map the relationship to the cloud we are transacting or application we are transacting, which we have seen, and we have to stitch that through the network what we have seen already in the fog computing architecture. So in this user and device journey, it is something like a car. First slide we have seen a movie poster, right? That movie hero is driving through this car. It has got no music, it has got no big control, but very classic old car. So what the need of the hour is not the beautiful car, which may be saleable for multiple crores just for fancy and passion, but whether it is sufficient for you to drive, for which I am bringing you some requirement. We need to understand all these fog computing with computational thinking, what it is computing to scale your network. We should have a design thinking. What is the best route it can travel, 5G, 6G, whatever. Adaptive thinking. We have to adapt to the situation and customer, the sector which we are going to see. Conceptual thinking. For every concept, it has to think through digital, machine learning, deep learning, supply chain management, robotic process automation, and environmental. And it should have a cognitive thinking, which I keep telling. It should be able to discriminate, differentiate, filter, maximize the learning. And finally, collaborative thinking. This sounds more philosophical and theoretical, but for which I will take you to some of these, the real-time concept. As you have seen the sensors from the edge computer, which are inserted with sensors and actuators. It may be a car, as we have seen, a computer or a factory, Industry 4.0 robotic factory, that is sending through the gateway for the user, ultimately to reach the cloud, which is called here backend also, because the data are going to be stored there. So data in motion, data at rest, data in use, all three dimensions data are going to be interacted or interfaced. This is going to be a decentralized because it is coming through various channels. It is distributed to the cloud, and cloud is going to be the ultimate touch point. With this, we have to understand these thinking in place, for which I am taking you further to elaborate. The current model is all the people are connecting to cloud, central cloud directly. That is not going to be future anymore. All the edge cloud or edge computing devices are going to be distributed through a decentralized channel to reach the cloud. That is what the simple explanation I can give. For me to elaborate that, what are all the advantages it is going to give for us to be prepared for this diagram or prepared for this transition future model? It is going to improve or increase all the left hand side. It is going to improve process efficiency, safety, resource identity, productivity, agility. Agility means speed or swift, flexibility, traceability, trackability, quality of performance, quality of service, profitability, reputation, work ethics of an organization, fairness. So many things are going to be improved because it is going to be error free, wherein it is going to reduce human dependency because robotic are going to play a vital role, or automated bots or automated program. That is what I call it zero touch. That is going to play a vital role. There is going to be less fatality in the healthcare. This is the highlight of our today's session. See, it is concentrating more on the healthcare industry where the production cost is going to come down, the maintenance cost is going to come down, inventory cost, logistics, cycle time, turnaround time, we call it, or downtime, everything are going to be reduced. Time to market, a medicine can come or a medical equipment can come quickly. And business and privacy risk are also not going to be there in the cloud, because today the cloud has got its own inherent risk of privacy issue where HIPAA is some no one of the compliance regulation which is forced to protect the health record. Wherein with the kind of fog computing, we will have enough control on what data going to be translated to cloud. And it should be available to all the people, irrespective of whether they are poor or rich. This laptop, no, the beautiful Mac laptop is available to them. Like that, what are all the hot picks which fog computing is going to benefit? That is again multifold. One is it is going to give a speed because it is going to be an extension. Instead of reaching a person through a phone number, if you call a direct number and somebody will pick up and they will call that person, the person will have to claim one step, two step, or one floor, two floor and pick up the call. That was the old days. Wherein today extensions are provided in every desk. You don't need to even stand up from your chair. That is the agility I'm talking about. That is what fog computing is going to give. It is going to collaborate with the cloud with edge computing, edge devices. It is going to automate most of that as we have seen in the previous slide. And it is going to have a self-healing capacity. You need not go for any troubleshooting by supported by a man or machine. It will be self-healing mechanism, which we in our company, we call it in Wipro, we call it as Fixomatic solution, self-healing solution. We call it as HOLMES, HOLMES. So I'll elaborate that in subsequent sessions, no, if I am permitted to. For which you will find it little, no, very challenging, but it is very simple for us to understand in two layers. One is awareness, another is adherence. So if you see this particular picture, the baby is looking at very smart, not on the screen of the laptop you could see. She is able to sense the camera on top. I think most of you would have seen now, most of you would have joined. It's a very beautiful interpretation of how the technology is going to provide everybody, support to everybody. So this little girl is looking at the camera, not the laptop screen. There is something on the screen, even nothing on the screen. It is not waiting for something to come up on the screen, but she is able to see through the camera, assuming that the somebody from the other end can see her through the webcam. That is the kind of awareness a small baby has got. So that is why I'm explaining that awareness is very important on the y-axis. Adherence is much more important on the x-axis. So more and more awareness, but less adherence. That is less to follow up, less to compliance. We have to take action. It is something like a person is smoking. he knows very much that he should not smoke. Smoking is injurious to health. It is printed on the cigarette packet also, but still he is smoking, which means he is aware, but he is adamant. So we have to take action against him. On the rightmost top corner, a person is very happy feel, okay, with thumbs up on both the hand. So he has got good awareness, good adherence. He is following everything perfectly. So he has to sustain throughout his life. On the bottom red part, bottommost, you will see a person crying because he is poor in adherence, because he is poor in awareness too. Wherein on the orange piece, a person is blindfolded, which means that he is following everything perfectly, but without any knowledge as to why he is following. Boss is telling, he is following. Faculty is telling, some student is following. HOD is telling, I am following. Dean is telling, HOD is following. Our university boss is telling, everybody is following. It is to be regularized. It cannot be blindfolded. We cannot go blindfolded. We have to be smart like the small kid who is looking at very smartly on the camera to, knowing very well that somebody is going to look at on the other side. So now let me jump on to this, the same sea where the tortoise and elephant were traveling earlier, where you will see a whale or something like that. A big fish is there. So for tackling this big fish, the tortoise who is coming through on the other side, it is going to come close very soon. You will see some shuffling in the water. That 4D model, which is nothing but design, develop, distribute, deliver. That is important, which will provide IT or OT. OT is nothing but operating technology on the shop floor. That will be transformed. So we have to have enough care. That's what I'm saying. By design, the tortoise should be able to tackle this big fish, and the elephant should be able to jump, and he should be able to catch the tortoise once again after winning the big whale. So it should be autonomous. It should be there should be innovation. How to jump, all that is left to the tortoise and elephant to handle. It should run to the cloud, jump to the cloud, big data, digital modeling, all blah blah blah. Service oriented architecture, information and communication technology, unified communication, integrated supply chain management, everything, which requires investment, strategy, skill, everything. It should have enough power to jump and win through the whale. So here for that we have multiple complexities. We have one primary sector, we have secondary sector, we have tertiary sector, which is what the topic of the day today, which has got nursing, teaching, and both of your profession. Today your profession is teaching, my profession is teaching. Where in nursing, healthcare we are talking, so we are in tertiary sector. And the fourth layer is quinary or quinary sector, R&D, IT, culture, everything. So the IT and culture should support, and immediately the tertiary sector. You could see that is the immediate one. Third one only is secondary. Primary is ultimate insight, primary. Wherein the immediate touch point for IT or R&D or cyber security is teaching and nursing. That's what we are delivering today, all this thing. Every such sector will have procure to pay, cloud to cash, hire to retire, hiring an employee, retiring an employee, supplier to customer, record to report something, compliance to audit something. Every supply chain is going to be similar for all the sectors. The tracks are going to be same. In the same track, as our story goes, there will be an interval here. What is that the fog computing giving as we go along as a security code analysis or something? Again, I'm bringing up the previous the scope diagram to tell you that the fog computing is to provide compute storage system located at the edge, close to the device or application or component, and it should generate data and process the data on the devices sent through the gateway. That is a very simple definition of the entire fog computing benefit with reference to the code security. Edge happenings are to be moved or recorded and moved through a processor through local area, because it is not a wide area network alone. It should be a local area network with the fog, and fog will handle it to the cloud. And unlike edge computing, fog has got an intelligence with the connected devices themselves and puts the data onto the LAN. It has got a real-time data analytics and reduce costs, whatever we have seen. One terminology I'm introducing here is the ultra reliable low latency communication. For cloud, it is not required. For fog, it is required. That is what we are having 5G and 6G coming up together in a phased manner. And there are so many use cases starting with smart city, smart building. It is also going to land up in smart health sector, smart hospitals, smart nurse. All are already in place in this pandemic world today. The application of multiple access edge computing are going to be in the oil and gas industry, wherein intelligent transportation and traffic management, autonomous, smart, self-driving, everything. ADAS is nothing but advanced no, or autonomous driver assistance system for the connected vehicles. I'm going to talk about it in the last slide in a while from now. So in the fog computing benefit from the application point of view, it has got a memory, it has got a storage, it has got a network, all our infrastructure. And there is a cloud that has also got an infrastructure. The application sits on the fog using a fog platform based on the architecture, whatever we have seen. So every IoT devices through wireless is touch basing with the fog platform, and fog nodes are going to have applications or controllers which is going to validate and send the data to the cloud. That is the kind of a work it is going to have. For example, an extension, if you want to dial an extension, there will be a telephone operator standing in the or sitting in the reception who will be forwarding all your calls to the right person. That is what the node all about. That is what fog computing all about. Fog computing is can be related to a telephone operator who is sitting in the reception. Instead of allowing a person to directly contact any employee inside, external guest should come through the receptionist, whether it is through phone or in person. So fog is nothing but a receptionist over here. That receptionist is going to provide the optimized benefit involving network paradigm, wide perimeter level, all sort of things. I don't want to again talk about federated framework, strong encryption, all that are something very dry. Wherein on the right hand side, you see every company should assume, or elephant or the tortoise should assume some breach assumption. That is, they should assume some breach. They should assume that a whale is going to come with full force, which will derail the elephant from tortoise and put the tortoise upside down and kill. That is the kind of a visualization they should have. Every company should have, and they should have a blast radius. That is the threat vector minimized, and they should have a user device network application which is aware of IT. That is IT enabled, IT transformed user device network and application should be in place. Micro segmentation, end-to-end encryption, 4A we have seen, real-time analytics, threat detection, and advanced endpoint protection, advanced threat protection, endpoint detection and response. And one more concept here I'm introducing is JIT and JEA, which is my concept where just in time is a TQM, total quality management concept of Japan. JEA is just enough access. Whatever access you want to have, you can have. Initially, at the time of the start, Deepa ma'am said, I'll be giving access to you as a host, as a presenter who can present. That is what JEA all about, just enough access. And adaptive risk-based data protection, everything. No, SIM is nothing but security, information, and event management. All are going to be the benefit of the fog computing. That how do we leverage? We will just move on to the final topic of this third section, which is optimized impressive, where on the left hand side you will see the analog scale. You will see an animation where left hand side you will have all the age old firewall and the log management, event based SIM, DLP, data loss prevention, mobile device management, mobile application management, everything are stacked on the left hand side of the ladder of the weighing machine. On the right hand side, we have the IR toolkit or the artificial intelligence or machine learning, analytics, Mitter framework. So many things are no, these are all something which are new. UEBA is nothing but user entity behavioral analytics and endpoint detection response solution, everything. So if you see the scale is very heavy on the right hand side. So we have to keep concentrating on the right hand side to fetch more benefit in the optimized stage. And to sum up, The basic is on-prem identity, wherein advanced progressive is hybrid cloud identity, optimized is full cloud identity, which is going to be based on the maturity is going to be based on the enterprise maturity, organization maturity, governance model, what we use, cloud presence, whether we have, what are all the type of clouds, hybrid cloud, public cloud, private cloud. Then management commitment should be there. Board of directors should accept that initiative. End user awareness should be there. Industry segment sector are very important. Health sector has got its own regulation. So we need to understand the sector also. Customer demands are all the more important. Compliance, audit demands are very important. Government demands are important. Mix of or dependency of the legacy systems are important. So all these are based on the success stories or success factors based on which we travel through basic to construct advanced to optimize. The basic is where the elephant and tortoise are traveling joyfully on an ocean, wherein advance is where they faced a blue whale and successfully jumped out of it and escaped. And optimize is a smooth sailing situation where it is very impressive to the management. With the cloud identity, real-time analytics, all these are in place. Let me now take you to the final part of it with another 15 minutes within time frame I'll be able to complete. So we will end up this presentation approximately by 11:45 so that if you have any questions, we can interact further. So I don't want to bore you through this. You have seen an elephant and tortoise are joyfully coming, and they have seen a blue whale in between, and or whatever whale you have seen in between, or it may be a dolphin, but they have to win that through, and they have to push that through, and they have crossed over all that. And we have seen the basic model, advanced model, and optimized model. Using the optimized model, the elephant and tortoise landed on the floor where they are seeing in this movie, I'm saying, they are seeing a very big building which is being constructed, multi-story building. They don't know what is that. They don't know how to handle, where to go. There are no trees nearby to eat. And you know that elephant is something which is smart, but it cannot walk fast, but it is smart. Wherein elephant is smart and it can walk fast also, but it is very smooth. It cannot eat any non-vegetarian, so it has to look for a vegetarian food. We don't know how it is going to. For that, how to become smart like the tortoise, how to become agile like the elephant, and brave and powerful like an elephant. For which I will introduce you to one concept called Internet of Things, which you need not confuse with the too many IoT we are talking about in the past week. The things are nothing but the devices what you hold on your hand or what is kept on the pillar like CCTV camera or anything like that, or a TV screen in a mall, whatever, or a biometric reader or a thumb impression reader or entry gate pass using an access card, all that. Wherein the data is something which it is translating, services are what it is rendering, internet is rendering for the people. Ultimately, all are for people. If people are not there, there is no purpose of internet. There is no purpose of healthcare without a people in place. So that has got the cyber physical production system or smart factories. That is what the elephant is seeing now in front. The smart factories are not going to help them, feeding them. Smart homes are required, smart society is required, smart logistics and smart grid, smart web, building, smart mobility, all are required. But within this construction area, site, the elephant or the tortoise cannot go walk free, for which they have the fingerprint of necessity. What is the necessity of RPA, industry sector? What is the ability it can carry out? What is the modality in which the dimensions, which we have seen earlier, the 4D model, deliver everything? What is the integrity, data governance, compliance, all that we have seen. This is the digital trust or the trust what the elephant or tortoise, so-called enterprise, is looking for. For that, there should be a zero touch, the maturity model, which we have seen, the basic model, advanced model, optimized model, that is consisting of next generation firewall. That is what can interact with the fog computing, with the NSG, virtual network, virtual firewall, micro segmentation, security group, Carta, everything. I don't want to explain everything, but let me go to the CSM. The CSM is nothing but cloud security model where every fog is going to ultimately land up in cloud. Then comes CGCC, which is nothing but continuous governance and compliance. And the fourth one often we have seen is 4A. Instead of AAA, now it is 4A. The 4A is nothing but identity access management or authorization, authentication, accounting, and auditing, which is going to be making the breach visible to the organization, alerting them in the right time. And finally, we see EEE, nothing but end-to-end encryption, whether it is data in motion, that is data in transit, or data in use, which we are typing like password typing. If you type a password in email, that computer will have its own artificial intelligence and alert you, don't type password on the mail, which will go to a wrong person. And data at rest, which is stored in your mobile phone or hard disk or computer server disk, hard drive or tape drive, anything, or CD, for which there is a key management system is available provided by CSP. CSP is nothing but cloud security provider. All these are going to be key component for the future of fog computing, which are split into multiple layer user groups. We all know employees are users, contractors are users, partners are users, third parties are users, guests are users, and so many others. Hackers also can be a user. The business entity are going to have multiple departments like R&D, HR, IT, everything. The devices are going to be starting with server, desktop, workstation, laptop, mobile, tablet, everything. The device types are going to be either trusted devices or untrusted devices, unknown devices. The network channels are either wired or wireless. The CACG or CCCG process is going to have verification in the pre-commit stage, enrollment, validation, limiting some user, monitoring what user is doing, and the security orchestration or the orchestration and automation response. In the zero trust or the zero touch security capability, where we wanted to run everything through robotic without touching anything, the identity of the particular robo should be known, what the robo is accessing, what is the compliance recommend, where the vulnerability, threat and risk are managed, what is the incident happening, how the operations are carried out. For which the technology we have seen are SDN, that is software defined network, information security engine, security information agent, event management, ICAM, nothing but identity credential access management, KVM, key vault management, multi-factor authentication. In the physical layer, could be on premise or on the data center, on the cloud, on at your office or on the shop floor, that is operating technology, or it could be remote. Somewhere from a CCTV camera, there will be some sensor, some data or actuator, sensor, everything. That framework can be simplified like this. Governance piece is separate, wired and wireless will come as a channel. People process technology, whatever we have seen in the car picture earlier, which is driving through the hill, that is what coming here to verify, validate everything. And physical entities are going to be separate. And that is going to be color coded with low, medium, high importance and to be considered or separate. So when we are landing on the moon, assuming that the elephant and tortoise are carried by these people to land them on a moon after traveling throughout the sea comfortably with all the basic model, advanced model, optimized model, coming to the robotic process automation industry where the industry is being constructed, they wanted to now enjoy, after enjoyed in the ocean, sea, they wanted to enjoy on the moon, for which they are carried in a big vessel like this. Here, the benefits for them are going to be the enterprise are going to be multifold. The latency is going to be in millisecond. That is, there is no latency in the network. The distance, huge distance it has covered, right? From the sea, now it is on the sky in the space. So that elephant is going to have a huge distance covered and very high context. So it is going to have the services based on the location. So elephant is not going to get the fruit anymore. And machine to human, artificial intelligence are going to be connected. And local control component are going to be there. There is no remote control component because it has gone away to the moon. and distributed system and applications are going to be there, where the applications or software are going to be distributed to the big vessel, what you have seen in the background, for which there are so many things we have to study. These books are considered as layer. You can see rack 1, rack 2, rack 3, rack 4. A girl is coming inside and she has to pick up which layer she is interested, which subject she is interested. So what is the approach for the lady to pick up a book from a layer or a cupboard? That is based on these 5 layers. Physical layer we have seen, that is the devices. Monitoring layer, what the device is doing. Pre-processing layer, before processing it to the cloud, the fog is handling. Security layer, it is filtering all the data and handing over to transporting it to cloud. These are all the 5 layers I explained on the right hand side, wherein if you apply these layers, we will be compliant on the cloud computing with the core considerations of preventive management, proactive management, runtime management, reactive management. Preventive is nothing but understanding everything in advance and prevent all the incident. Customer is expecting that. But real scenario is we have threat. We have seen vulnerability, threat and risk. So proactive management, risk should not result. So we need to proactively manage. Runtime management is while we are operating, something may suddenly come. So we should have a business continuity management. We should have a secondary server. If one fails, what is the alternative? Everything. I have 2 phones kept nearby to connect this presentation so that no, this session will not get switched off in between. Finally, security orchestration, that is incident management. After everything is happening, what is the user entity behavior? What is the forensic study? What is the container recovery stage? All that are going to be how it is going to be contained, reduced, how it is going to be recovered after an incident, like the flood, what we are seeing today. This is what the 4-fold model for a core consideration of a fog computing. In this, if you look at the simple workflow which we can have is starting with the IT user. The devices are going to handle the data based on the policy and rules set. Ultimately, it is going to be trusted, and finally access to be given to the IT, OT or ICT device wise, location wise, user wise, time wise, everything. Wisely it is going to be handled. So this is the simple workflow, where if you want me to complicate this, the value proposition it is going to give is multifold. The quality assurance, like how you have come all the way from the typewriter to the latest MacBook today. The typewriter would have costed around 5,000, 3,000, 6,000 those days. Now it is 6 lakhs, up to 6 lakhs as normal computer is costing. That too, especially Mac like this. Quality assurance is one, cost reduction is another expectation, benefit from fog computing, delivery adherence, people process, morale motivation, and safety security on the one side. On the other side, it is getting stitched with the scalability, growth of the data, availability and mobility of the data, big data and analysis of the big data, and return on security investment or return on investment and total cost of ownership to get the result plus less turnaround time. So this stitching is going to be provided by the fog computing. Without fog computing, we can never expect using cloud. All these are possible in future because of the connected vehicles and connected factories, smart city, everything. So that is the part which is simplified through compliance, economic viability, stability, accountability, social, emotional quotient, technology, scalability, all this, no, whatever we have seen, governance, privacy, feasibility, all these are going to be the order of the or need of the hour. For which the end to edge, today we have all the end devices, but the edge devices are going to be mobile in the car or in the medical equipment or with the scanner or with any health infrastructure. That is the edge computing. The focus are multifold. From the central services, it should have a distributed services and it should pay way for local services. That is what the community is looking at from the health sector. That can be further elaborated through IoT, gateway, network edge, data center, all these, no, you can see all processing means C, network means C is nothing but compute. N is nothing but network. So the network and compute are staggered and spread throughout the service. So in your health sector also, where Amazon is providing, Azure is providing, Google is providing, Tencent is providing, all that are going to have the cloud presence with fog computing, providing the health sector, all the network edge, customer edge, device edge, everything, whatever you are seeing, either the health sector is gaining momentum with the telco, that is telecommunication sector, IT sector with the data center, public sector with the public cloud, uh, along with the compliance. So these are all something, which can be translated further with a simple systemic approach. And we have to follow especially in the health sector, the device pre-commissioning. Before enabling any device, we have to pre-commission them with without any device, how it is going to be operative, with the agent installed, how it is going to be working, the attributes configuration, health, temperature, humidity, everything, and setting the connectivity, all that. And secondly, the edge device telemetry is going to have, because in the pre-commissioned device, there is no device, there is no management, there is no control. Wherein in the device group and provisioning, the device are going to be provisioned, groups are going to be created, and the provisioning are with the help of IDAM, Identity and Access Management, principle of least privilege, just enough access, just in time access, all this, whatever we have seen. Next, third phase is device health check. After creating the device group, we have to check whether the device is very valid, whether it is a broken device, jailbroken device, or a pirated device, or a pirated OS, or obsolete OS, or an outdated model, whether it is having antivirus, whether it is a firewall enabled, all these are going to be verified. After connecting the device, the second part is that is the third part is validating the access. After a device is connected using the internet, with what application it is going to have access, how it is going to come through, wired or wireless, what are all the data it is going to control, debug, what is the IoT edge it is going to be deployed. Then it will result the measure of or quality of service, measuring the quality of service or measure of performance, MOP, you can call it, which will enhance the coverage, which will provide good health, which will be there will be a root cause analysis if something goes wrong. There will be an anomaly detection, agility of the remote control, everything. So with this elaborate cover up of the execution excellence of the fog computing with the systemic approach, let me end my presentation with a single weighing scale, which is going to be an eye opener for you, where I will take a moment to explain all this, what I am saying. There is an empty plate. That empty plate is having adaptive computing, which is adapting to the needs of the user, or responsive computing, whether it is going to be responding to the world, whether it should be adaptive to the user or responsive to the technology or IT transformation. On the right hand side, you will see 3 apple, which is very healthy apples are there, which is weighed high. Why it is weighing high? Because on the left hand side, it is a empty plate with adaptive thinking, or which we have seen in the earlier slide, design thinking and adaptive thinking. The adaptive thinking is going to be flexible to the user group, wherein responsive thinking is for the world or IT or the transformation which we are talking about, the digital transformation. On the left hand side, empty plate is digital presence. Okay, I am also having an application. I too have a website for my college. I too have an email ID provided by my college. That is the digital presence. But digital transformation is nothing but the website is up to date. Whether your website is attractive enough to invite more students, whether your website is having a lot of knowledge base articles, whether your website is every time dynamic, that or your email ID is fully utilized, or you still use gmail.com comfortably so that it can be accessed from anywhere. So the digital transformation is important. whether are we interested with the historical analysis of what has happened yesterday or predictive analytics of what is going to happen in future? Are we going to concentrate with an empty plate on the centralized services on the cloud or self-service on the fog or distributed self-service on the fog? Are we going to depend on the IT or information system or EDP or MIS department or IT department, or we are going to have a prescriptive system where we can provide consultation? One more point is whether we need to have a data access control. That is, you should access this data at this time and you should not access this data using this device. Are we going to take a stick and keep on dictating like the elephant which has got a stick on his leg we have seen? Or do we need to have a data democracy? All the data are to be available to everybody provided with right access or right information. Finally, are we leading to interconnected enterprise? Okay, my college is connected with my mobile, with my laptop, with my office, or are we migrating towards hyper-connected enterprise? That is connecting with the student, connecting with the public, connecting with the government, connecting with the AICTE. So this is what the weighing scale all about, where the fog computing execution excellence is sitting on the right hand side, where the left hand side is losing momentum. It is going to be an empty plate over a period of time. And we are going to be thrown off from the market. I found that KCG is ranked number one in so many parameters. I have seen the report somewhere available online. And some of my academia friends in KCG shared with me too. How long? So we need to, all of us, I'm not talking about the college as a whole, but I'm talking about individual user, yourself and myself should transform ourselves to get the fruits, ultimate fruits, which is a healthy fruit like apple on our hand. That is possible only through this kind of a transformation through fog computing with a well matured cybersecurity in place, transitioning from the basic model, migrating to the advanced model, and finally landing up with the optimized suitable model. With this, I'm bidding thank you to you. One request I have for all of you, the entire subject, whatever we dealt here, is put simply by me, written in Telematics Wire International Magazine, which is running into 6 pages or so. It's a lead article came up. And you can just scan this QR code. One of you can capture this QR code and confirm me so that I can wind up the session where you will be able to read the threat intelligent and smart cyber security for the connected vehicle, which is having the fog computing. Fog computing is something where no, for the digital trust and zero touch computing, everything I'm covering there in detail in a simplified way, covering the industry 1, industry 2, industry 3, industry 4 generation, RPA, everything, and connected vehicle. What is ADAS? That is the autonomous driver assistance system, everything with the help of fog computing. So I request you once again to capture this QR code so that no, this book is free of cost, readable online. And if you want, you can subscribe also. Every month you will get this newsletter circulated physically as a book to your house. It is costing only 250 rupees for a college to afford. Keeping this particular IoT event, you can subscribe as an outcome of this book. This is not, no, there is no participation for me. There is no, only this article of November I have written. But this is a very good book for college to own and read and circulate. With this, thank you so much for all your patience and participation. And we can leave this
So
forum
we
to
have
QA.
captured the QR code, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So zero touch, all the best.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Your session was very good, like opening all our like details, and it's an eye-opening session towards edge as well as the fog computing. Sir,
Okay.
I have one simple basic question, sir. For example, if you want to go for an application in healthcare sector using edge
Yeah.
of fog computing, what will be the infrastructure requirements to go for an R&D in college?
As I understand your question, it is very simple, actually. There is no specific infrastructure required for fog computing. The whatever infrastructure we have, like as I said, no, you
For
should have
examples are like
extensive.
we go for healthcare sectors or like health monitoring system. So do we need any data centers for that particular
No. All
application?
are actually all are having to be cloud presence. Only two things you have to look at. We need to have a cloud presence. That is, we can create a even a dummy cloud. Yeah, what do you say? The test cloud. Okay, on the Azure, AWS or Azure, the test cloud or a pilot cloud, POC cloud will provide you all the infrastructure for you to operate with fog computing, connect you with fog computing. Even Google is providing that as a Beyond Corp. I have presented that in my one of my slides. That will help you to connect the cloud, for which you can take some sample equipment. They are weighing scale. There are so many, the automated weighing machines and the health check monitors, whether in terms of the chest size or height, the body mass index, BMI, everything. There is a automated machines which are having the code integrated, injected into it, which is costing very in few thousands. That can be procured. If you want no further information on that, I can connect you with the right people in the health sector. But the point I'm making is it is not so complex, because if you have a telephone exchange already in place, you can add one extension, which is a matter of buying a small instrument costing 500 rupees maximum.
Okay, sir. So same thing about vehicles, sir. Like vehicle communication, vehicular
Absolutely.
communication.
Yeah. Vehicle is more conversant. I told you, in my own car, which is only costed 15 lakhs, I have an equipment already in place where it will sense whether I'm inside or outside. If I am sitting inside, it will not switch off the light quickly. It will slowly dim the light and switch off while driving. But if I am outside the car, it will switch off. As soon as I close the car, it will switch off immediately. And if I keep the key inside and come out and try to lock with my biometric, it will keep a siren saying that key is inside. So all the artificial intelligence are already getting injected into the car. If the car is crisscrossing the yellow line, it will throw it will beep heavily and throw cool air, hot air on the face of the driver. And if the driver is little jittery and drowsy and sleeping at night while driving, it will throw a cool air on his face to wake him up. All these intelligence have already come in, even in Indian car itself, because the technology is anyway universal.
Okay.
And somebody,
Sir,
somebody
like for example, sir, when you're going to access the real-time data, they're going to very huge, sir. So what will be the process to go for the cloud, sir? Like, do we need to purchase cloud for that part?
no.
Real-time implementation,
For a
sir.
lab setup, for a lab setup, as I said already, there is a pilot setup already available, provided for a month up to 3 months. I'm not sure how long, but minimum a month. It can go up to 6 months also. You can have a test account created. So cloud is anyway given for lab. For you to procure also, it will be based on in and out IO transactions. If you don't transact, they will not charge you. So it is going to be anyway investment for learning, like buying a book. So for education, academia, it is not going to be a costly proposition.
Okay, sir. So can I have your mail ID, sir, if for
That I
contacting?
think you can come through Deepa ma'am, who has got my contact, because I don't want to have a sideline discussion. But for knowledge sharing, I am ready.
For knowledge sharing, sir,
I
R&D
know.
development
Yeah, but
for organization.
because,
I will share it to you, madam.
yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any other queries?
Good morning, sir.
Is it Soumya? No.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
I see a question on the
yeah,
chat. Yeah.
yes, sir. That's what I want to try to clarify that question, sir. So what are the steps I need to consider when I need to connect a sensor with the cloud to get information, sir, for any EHR records to be taken?
Only three. Okay. There is one edge computing with the connector. Connector is nothing but an application. Edge computing is an appliance, what you carry on your hand. Okay, which is the end computing or edge computing. End computing is a misnomer today for a handheld devices. So the edge computing, which is mobile, which is attached to a machine, that is one which has got a controller. That is what I have shown in one of my slides. That controller will interact with the fog computing. Fog computing is nothing but a event hub, which is a extension, telephone extension like a tool, which is again not a physical tool, which is a virtual tool, virtual machine with a virtual software. All that like the previous person who wanted to know, I can elaborate that with a little elaborate schematic and the list of laundry list of what you have to look in for implementing a lab setup, for connecting a EHR information or whatever information. All these are happening today. Okay. Already in the health sector, in modern hospitals, smart equipments have already come in. Even in government hospital like MMC, they have already placed a lot of artificial intelligence equipments, which can act on its own, interacting with the cloud. But in the academia, in the learning field, it is not yet arrived with full force. But your question is very valid. We need to know what are all required. I can share a detailed list to you separately.
Thank you, sir. Sir, any other cloud is having security on its own, sir, without providing any outside security, whether it can have its own security? Anything is
Exactly.
like that, sir?
Yeah, a fantastic question. In fact, except Tencent Cloud. Tencent Cloud is from China. Except that, all the other cloud service provider are integrating security as a service built in. Whether it is Amazon, Azure, or Google, Oracle Cloud, SAP Cloud. SAP Cloud is SAP, called SAP Cloud Platform, Oracle Cloud Platform, IBM Cloud. All the cloud are providing integrated, like the tortoise picture you have seen, integrated security. You don't need to buy some security add-on. Only thing, compatibility is something you have to question. Cost is something you have to evaluate. Otherwise, it is all integrated.
Sir, how about MuleSoft, sir? MuleSoft Cloud.
Moonsoft.
MULE.
Yeah,
SOF.
yeah. See, this is another CSP. Okay. But if you want to venture into any lab, especially with reference to health sector or any critical key sectors, I don't suggest that. Because officially, since this session is getting recorded and published on the YouTube, I don't want to talk ill about any product per se. But generally, as I keep repeating, you can take some test account with some proven CSP and work through that instead of venturing into other CSP to start with.
Maybe you can contact her through email if you have any doubts.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
I'll share the email ID. Yeah.
I
Any other
request
queries?
I request all of you to come through email. My private email is given to ma'am, and she will share with all of you. I request ma'am not to share my mobile number widely for this because now when I'm handling the session, if somebody keeps calling me, it will disturb you actually. So with that, if you even if you want to come through my mobile, you can send a message so that we can allocate a particular time to interact.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. That will be taken care of. Any other queries from the participants?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Myself Babu, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how does fog computing reduce security risks, and what are the secure algorithms are using adopting? Which one is the more secure algorithms there?
Oh, how it reduce secure algorithm?
No,
That was
computing. Yes.
yeah. So simple. No, algorithm is nothing but a protocol. Okay, a formula-based protocol. If it is coming to network, we call it as protocol. If it is coming to code, we call it as algorithm. But now both are rules. See, the algorithms are mostly a computational thinking based. That is what I have shown in one of my slides. The first, as a first priority. The computational thinking is something, or computational mindset, which will be triggered through the algorithm, where most of the repetitive tasks are going to be handled through fog. So it has got lot of things to do at the computational stage by itself instead of leaving that to your device. That is why I'm saying it is a decentralized approach where the algorithms themselves are going to be spread across two boundaries. One is at the user device boundary, another is fog boundary. That is where even the earlier people questioned about how it can reduce the complexity. I'm saying that the fog is going, that is why I say no, it is a distributed computing or decentralized computing. When you are decentralizing the computing, when I keep talking about the controller is split into two areas. One is the controller at the fog side, another is the algorithm at the edge computing. So the algorithms are going to be reduced to a bare minimum because it is split into two, and in the fog side, it is going to be mostly repetitive. And fog is not going to handle the intelligence of human directly. It is going to come through a device what you hold on your hand. For example, the extension phones, you can just correlate or parallelly. The extension phone need not have an intelligence to dial through outside. Even external dialing can be blocked. You can come through board. So extension is an extension. Fog has got all the intelligence only to ring when an extension is dialed. And you will be allowed to speak as if you are speaking on the main phone. So fog is going to have the lightweighted algorithm. That is why in one of my line item, I said lightweighted. Means it is going to reduce the strain of algorithm. It may not reduce the number of lines, but it is going to reduce the strain of the algorithm what we are going to write.
So what are the algorithms they use, like AES or ACC or SA? What kind of algorithms they're using?
AES, PES, PGP, all are not, it is encryption algorithm. It is not a fog computing algorithm. Fog computing algorithm are more of a AI in nature, artificial intelligence and IoT algorithms. Wherein if you are talking about AES algorithm or triple E algorithm, or the even if you take Geo, it has got its own algorithm. PGP is from Symantec, which has got an algorithm which is pretty good privacy algorithm, where it is there is a private key, public key. That is what I talked about. Triple E, end-to-end encryption, or KVM, key vault management. That algorithm is going to be standing as it is. But for you to understand much clearer, DES is a very old algorithm, wherein AES is an advanced algorithm. A stands for advanced. That is only a synchronous, wherein in the asynchronous private public key handshaking, the PGP is the latest algorithm. That is more powerful, which is going to be handled in the fog as well.
PGP, sir. PGP.
Yeah, some of the people are leaving the program session now. So if you have any more.
Yes, sir. Maybe we can wind up with the Q and answer session, sir. Anyone want to tell a feedback or thank you to sir? Can come up and tell now. Anyone is there to tell? Yes, we have a.
Is the movie of Tortoise and Elephant is good, watchable? You have 3.5 rating, 2 rating in a scale of 5.
It was excellent session, sir, an eye-opening session to everyone towards fog and edge computing. We are very grateful and thankful to you, sir, for providing us this direction of this network, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving time.
Anyone else would like to come up and tell a thank you to sir for the effort that sir has spent towards this session? Anyone else from the participant side?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving the wonderful session. Actually, we feel that first tortoise is very slow. The tortoise, the top of the elephant is going. So that is, but a nice explanation. Sir. Thank you so much. Technology.
Yeah, that is how fog is built actually. In fact.
Yes, yes.
Any other participant? Yes, Babu, please continue.
Sir, can I ask
Yeah.
one question, sir? One question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Recently, search in internet, I found that security in related securities, there is a chance to hack the information through side channel analysis, side channel attack. So most of the sensitive information, they're having sensitive devices, they're having sensitive information. The sensitive information I can retrieve the sensitive information through side channel attack. So there is
Yeah.
a countermeasure technique for the particular sensitive devices.
No, no, no. There are only layers of security. Any hacking cannot be blocked. Whatever no, you may have, you have a bulletproof car, right? Which the Trump and Obama were using when they have landed up in India. Even Jinping, when he came here, you would have seen all the black cars. I don't want to make it as a dry subject when people are leaving. So I'm making it little live for you to understand. You are saying bulletproof car. Do you say that it is 100% no secure? If there is a earthquake, do you think that he will be able to survive? So it's a question of no, what are all the threat you can, that is what we call as threat vector. The threat vector is very minimum for them, wherein it is not 100% secure. To make the answer very simple.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we'll wind up the session. Hope so the participants have no other queries. If yes. So, your session and your way of teaching and the content delivery was very different and innovative. That's what I felt. And it was, in fact, inspiring too. And I can understand that from the session, you have put in a lot of effort and the amount of time you have spent towards the preparation for this session. I hope the participants will put in equal and, in fact, more effort towards a point shared by MSK sir in this session. And in fact, they should come up with something and benefit something from many things. In fact, many things from this workshop, and they won't forget what was discussed in this session. Once again, from the management and from the event team, I would like to thank MSK sir for accepting this invite, as well as for the goodwill, plus the expertise, plus the effort, plus the time spent towards this session, sir. Once again, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. On final word from me, since I am very passionate with the security as a topic, 45 people are still there in this call now. I request all of you to think of the subject and think of me, and any challenging subject if you want to learn, and if you are passionate to learn, feel free to call me for a session like this, and I am always there because it is my passionate subject, which I can travel to any point in the IT and cyber security to cover that. But every session requires a lot of no pre-ground work and effort, and without taking a sip of water I have to run the 2 hour session. All that are no my job actually to do, for which you have to only remember the happy moments whatever you may have today, you would have seen today, so that no I can repeat it multiple times with a little more advanced stages, or the simplification of this, everything I can do. I can modulate as a simple one or complex one. So with that request, I think I can say
So
thank you
we
once again.
had